Hello and welcome back to another video from 55 degrees north and to part 21 of your Newcastle upon Tyne construction and restoration fortnightly update video. So coming up in this week's episode, we'll be visiting the usual sites at Pottery Lane and Pilgrim Place among many others. Plus at the end of the video, we'll have a quick roundup of some of the smaller projects going on in the city. So let's dive right in and see what's going on. Starting at the site of the former General Hospital on the West Road, where construction of the new Health and Innovation neighbourhood is taking place. Groundworks are continuing at the front part of the site in readiness for the building work to begin. These areas used to be where the car parks were situated. We will now head round the back of the site with the drone and see how the demolition of the former hospital buildings is coming along. Work is continuing to demolish some of the old buildings towards the rear end of the site, with this area being pretty much the same as it was 2 weeks ago. A bit further down you can see the amount of rubble which has been created with the buildings that they have demolished so far. It will take them quite a while to remove all this from the site. As we look at one of the remaining buildings, you can see they are still stripping the fixtures and fittings out of the building ready for demolition, and across the far end of the site there's still sorting materials ready for some of it to be recycled. Moving on to the new students' village at Castle Leazes, where demolition of the old students' accommodation is continuing. You can see the main block in the middle has now been completely demolished since the last video, and work on the remaining blocks to strip them of their fixtures and fittings is still ongoing to get them ready for the demolition to begin. Again, like the General Hospital site, they still have an awful lot of rubble to remove from the site, with some of it being used to level up the ground to save on waste. Down at the new students' accommodation on Leazes Park Road, the core lift shaft has added a couple of extra floors since the last video, and looking around the site you can see what looks like the beginning of a second core lift shaft. These also house stairwells, which can be used in an emergency to evacuate the building, and are made to withstand fire for so many hours. And looking across the site, you can see plenty of prefabricated steel reinforcement ready to be installed. Down at St James's Metro Station on Strawberry Place, preparation work for the new advertisement boards is still ongoing, with the site now all clear of the original walls and advertisement boards which once stood here. And outside the front of the station, scaffolding has been placed right across the entire length of the station. And just across the road, work on yet more students' accommodation is nearing completion on the outside of the building, with cladding still to be installed along the bottom at the rear of the site. Around the front, the cladding along the bottom is almost complete, with them working to finish one small corner. And finally, the window, which was missing its cladding, was getting it fitted the day I was there filming. Down at the site of the new His Majesty's Revenue and Customs building on Pilgrim Street, the gap that was in the middle is now just about complete, with most of the cladding now installed. Work continuing underneath on the ceiling panels and electric cables. Around the Market Street side of the building, nearly all the former Carlisle House fascia has had all its windows fitted, with just a few on the bottom and the side to complete. Around on the John Dobson Street side of the building, you still have a gap in the building so they can get equipment and materials delivered to the site, and the glass is almost complete all the way around the corner onto Market Street. Around on Ellison Place at the North East Space Skills and Technology Centre, work on the core lift shaft is still ongoing. This one is being built different to the rest of the sites we visit, as the concrete blocks are coming in prefabricated, then fitted together, unlike the other sites which are made by pumping the concrete. Moving on to the Pilgrim Place development at Carlisle Square, quite a bit of work has taken place since the last video. Work on the core lift shaft, what you can see in front, is now up to floor 2. Down at the front of the site, a big trench has been dug, with steel reinforcement being laid in it, with some of the work already completed. The second core lift shaft, just off Warsack Street, has reached the lofty heights of floor 6, which is now under construction. Looking to where the deep excavations are, you can still see the horizontal steel beams and diagonal braces which prevent the excavations from collapsing during construction. Down at Pottery Lane, they're making a lot of progress with the new apartment blocks. As you can see, the floors are moving up at a rapid pace, with work on the first building to install the drainage still taking place. So with a little bit of drone footage, you get a better idea in how much progress they're making. You can see building number 2 is at floor 3 and they're starting to make progress up to floor 4. And the second building is already on level 4 with them starting to add floor 5. And over the back of the site towards the Redriff Bridge, which is 1 floor higher than the rest of the site. And on building 2 you can see piles of concrete slabs waiting to be installed onto the floor area. So now for a quick roundup of other projects I have spotted going on in the city centre right now. Starting with the ongoing pavement improvement works on Northumberland Street. You can see the place is like a big maze, with barriers here, barriers there. And to be honest, it looks like a patchwork quilt of areas which have been done and ones which have not. I am no expert, but why could they not just start at one end and made their way up to the other? Just seems logical to me, but somebody may be to explain it. So opening in spring this year, the new Newcastle Labour Club, which is probably in part of the old Lloyds Bank building at Haymarket. Work is still going on the new Lloyds Bank, which is going to open on Northumberland Street later this year. Northern Goldsmiths on the corner of Blackett Street and Pilgrim Street is getting a major refit, and the front is getting a major restoration. Work on the new high-end hotel on Pilgrim Street is still ongoing. Work is also continuing on Pilgrim Street at the bottom end to complete the new pavement and cycle lane. Work on the city's second stack venue is still ongoing with an expected opening date of May this year. Restoration work on the cathedral is continuing with very little done since my last visit here quite a few weeks back. Down at the Tyne Bridge, some of the scaffolding has been removed and it reveals the new paintwork which has been completed so far. And finally, work on the Newcastle Building Society on Granger Street is still ongoing with it expected to open in the spring of this year. So just before I wrap this video up, please let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are of all the construction and restoration that's going on in the city right now. Also, please give the video a massive thumbs up as it really helps my channel grow. And if you've not already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit that bell notification when I release more videos. A massive thank you for watching. See you next time on 55 Degrees North.